Welcome all to the Snail Trail 4x4 podcast. If you like going off-roading in Toyotas, wrenching on Toyotas, camping in Toyotas, and maybe even poking a little bit of fun at Toyotas, and of course, hearing about how fantastic chainsaws and axles and all sorts of fun things are in Toyotas, then this is the podcast for you. That's right, ladies and germs. My name is Tyler. I am one of your hosts today, and joining me for episode 403 is the other host of the show, Mr. Jimmy Host Jet. How are you, Mr. Hosty Host?
I'm doing pretty good.
Nice.
Thanks for asking. How was your Memorial Day?
It was good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do anything fun?
Not necessarily for Memorial Day. I did a bunch of yard work.
Ooh, nice.
and other work, but we'll get into that in a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
sounds good.
We didn't go anywhere because typically Memorial Day has a lot of crowds out camping.
Yep. Yes, it does.
And so we just planned to stay home and take it easy for Memorial Day. But this year there weren't that many people out camping from what I've heard.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe everybody's taken a note from our book and we just don't go out camping whenever
Right.
it's
Everybody
popular
stays
weekends.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just going to stay home and not worry about the chaos out there in life.
And then everybody does that. It's not chaotic at all.
Yeah, guess not.
Time to start going out now.
Let's do it.
All right. Pause. No, this weekend was good. So we'll get into that in a little bit.
Yeah.
The weather was awesome.
The weather was nice. Yes.
Nice reprieve from the 95 we were getting there for the week.
I know we actually got spring now, which
I
is
know. Now we went from winter to summer, back to winter to summer. Now we're back in spring.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's about right.
Yeah, it's been fun. NorCal always keeps you on your toes. But yes, let's see. Today's a Thursday episode.
It is.
We are recording technically before the end of the month, before the end of May. We don't have the final numbers from May for the giveaway.
Correct.
For the two
Not
PSI
yet.
Pro compressors. So we'll probably announce those next Thursday, I'm guessing.
Yes, it'll be damn close because we normally get on the 5th is when we get the numbers from Patreon.
I think we're going to be recording on the 5th.
Then we can probably do
we'll
it.
see.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll see. That'll be next Thursday, I believe. The PSI Pros, if you guys have not heard about them, they are compressors that you get to set it and walk away. So you set the pressure you want everything to air up to, and then you walk away and you go do something else for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Depends on the size of your tire.
True.
But
yep.
Yeah, super cool.
Super cool. I'm excited to get one. I saw my name hit that list, so I'm excited to try one of those out and break it, hopefully, so you can do better R&D.
Sweet.
If I can. I doubt it'll break. So,
Yep.
But I'll work on it. I'll try. I've been trying to break the one that I currently have and haven't gotten to that one point yet. So,
which is weird because Lee keeps breaking his. I'm like, what are you doing that's different from everybody else?
he hard mounted it and went inside and changed things, didn't he?
I don't know. I know he changed the filter caps, but that shouldn't impact. I don't know.
Was his one of the original that had the pressure cutoff in it?
The original one that he had did not, but the one he has now does.
And he still had problems?
Yeah, but I think he's overheating it by having it in his engine bay all the time.
Maybe.
But he just moved it into a drawer system.
Okay. So
in the back of the white whale. So we'll see if that fares better back there. Okay. I'm curious.
Nice. Yeah. Good to hear.
Yep.
So those were the giveaways for the month of May.
Mm-hmm.
What is the giveaway for the month of June, which is
Power Tool Month?
Power Tool Month.
Yep. With Flex Power Tools.
Flex Power Tools, everybody. We talked about them a little while ago. I got some at the end of last year. Mm-hmm. We had Lawless Corey on a month or so ago to sort of talk about his new adventure. And through working with Lawless Corey, we were able to have the entire month dedicated to Flex Power Tools and the giveaways. It's going to be a fun month here for everybody. So what's the giveaway this month?
The giveaway for the month is essentially their high-end beginner set kit.
Kind of, yeah. We made it the beginner
Kind of,
kit,
yeah. So it's essentially a drill driver with the kickback feature, the 1/4-inch impact, a reciprocating saw.
Yep.
Would it have the circular saw as well?
I think it does.
I think it had the circular saw. And then it also has, I believe we're getting the band saw with it and a 4.5-inch grinder.
Correct.
Some of the stacked high output batteries and one charger, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe more than one charger because we did add. We're doing.
No, that's right.
We're doing a kit which had a whole bunch of things in it, and then we added a grinder and added a bandsaw.
So you might be getting like 3 chargers.
You might be getting 3 chargers depending on which ones we added.
Yeah.
I don't know if I added just the tool or battery kits to those as well. I don't recall at this moment. So yeah, so we're doing this massive tool, almost every automotive side tool thing that they make, also including the circular saw.
Yeah.
That they're currently making. And we'll dive more into that here in a future episode about the flex power tools and the stacked batteries and everything that they're making and what could possibly coming out in the future. So that is exciting. Big thanks to Flex Power Tools for working with us. We also have a weekly giveaway going on that starts today and will go through Monday. Do you remember what that one is?
It is, you guys are going to have to go on to the medias of sociality.
Yes.
And you're going to have to go to the Instagram platform and you're going to have to post a picture of your favorite project that you're working on right now that you could really use some tools on. And what you're going to have to do is you're going to post that picture, give a little blurb about what you're looking for and how the tools would help you. And then you're going to post a hashtag. And that hashtag is how we're going to track everything and pick a winner from.
Correct. Yes.
So the hashtag is FlexOn ST4x4, all one word.
Right.
For Snail Trail 4x4,
Yep.
ST4x4.
FlexOn ST4x4, FlexOn ST4x4.
Yep. Remember, that has to be as a hashtag. You can't tag us.
Correct.
Because we won't be able to track it with everybody else's entries.
Right.
We're going to use the little pound symbol.
Yes, exactly. We're going to go to search and we're going to search that hashtag. Right now, there's nobody doing it. So there's 0 entries. So we're going to look at all that entry through that search function. So if you don't put it as a hashtag, you won't come up in that search. Also, I think this is important to notice. You need to follow Snail Trail 4x4 and you need to be following Flex Power Tools. And your account needs to be not on private.
Exactly. Yes.
If your account's on private, then
you don't show up in the searches.
Unless we follow you, unless I follow you. Yeah, you're not showing up on the search.
Yeah, you're going to want to be following Snail Trail 4x4 anyways, because, I mean, who doesn't want to follow?
Yeah. But this week specific, or this month specifically.
Yeah, especially this month, you're going to want to be paying attention, but you're going to want to also be paying attention to Flex Tools because they are doing some really cool stuff in the tool industry right now, kind of shaking things up a little bit with what's currently out there. So you're going to want to keep an eye on what they're going to be coming out with because they're going to be coming out with a lot of stuff here over the next year, 2 years, 3 years here. So
absolutely.
You're going to want to be following them anyways. So just do it and get entered. And you guys, we'll pick 3 winners.
3 winners from this hashtag. Yep. Flex on Snail Trail ST4x4.
Yep. And the 3 winners are going to win
a 1/4-inch impact set. I think that comes with the battery and charger and the 1/4-inch impact. The stacked lithium version that has multiple settings in it and also the fun ejection button.
Yeah. Yep. You know how everybody jokes about putting ejection seats into your cars? How random buttons in your car can be an ejection seat?
Yes.
This tool has one.
This does. It does. Yeah. It has a button right above the trigger that will eject the chuck. It doesn't literally shoot it out, but it will release it so then you can pull it out and stick the new one, another version of the chuck or 1/4-inch impact setup into it, which is a really handy feature because now you don't need to move your hands around to the chuck area to disengage it with one hand, then to pull the chuck out with the other hand. Now you can just leave your hand right where the trigger is and hit the eject button and do all that switching with the other hand. So it's
a pretty cool little feature.
Pretty cool little feature. Yeah. It's one of those things that's like really small and not very like super important. Yeah. But once you use it, it's very nice.
Yeah, that's what she said too. Yep. Super small, not that important, but once you use it, man, it's nice.
Yes.
I crack myself up, Jimmy.
Also, when you pull the trigger, it vibrates.
That is true. No, that's the reciprocating saw.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that one too.
Anyway, so that's the giveaway for this week. It's a shorter week because we are starting the month over halfway through the week. So hopefully you're paying attention. We've told you guys over the past month, you need to be paying attention during Tool Month. This is one of the reasons why.
This is
a short week.
Yeah, I think I might do an announcement on social media that there's a giveaway item nugget inside this episode, but I'm not going to be promoting this giveaway anywhere else besides this episode right here. So if you are listening to this episode and it's near Monday, well, probably Tuesday, let's be honest, is when we record.
Yeah.
But if it's near Tuesday, maybe I'll figure it out on Monday. You need to stop what you're doing and go snap a photo or upload a photo to Instagram and tag us with the hashtag FlexOnST4x4 to get entered. So we've got 3 of these to give away. Hopefully we get more than 3 entries. If not, Tyler wins a 1/4-inch impact.
Yes.
Because I already have one.
Yeah. I don't have one yet. Yeah. So that's the giveaway. Go and do it. I think last year we had, was it 40 or 50 entries?
Yeah, but and I also think they had a full week.
And they also had a full week. Exactly. So your odds are pretty high of winning if you're staying up on the podcast right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's just slight continuation of Flex Power Tool Month. Just to reiterate, please pay attention to the rest of this month because pretty much every Monday and Thursdays, we are announcing things that are going on with the giveaway. Every week we're doing a different giveaway. And then we have the monthly giveaway for the Snail Squad members. So if you want to get in for that thing that has that giveaway item that has almost every one of their power tools, you need to do that on iRate 4x4. And otherwise, if you want to get in for any of the giveaways, you need to be following us on social and here on the podcast.
Yep. I like it. It's going to be a fun month.
Yeah. We also have another giveaway to talk about.
We do?
We do.
Oh, we do.
We do.
Yes. We're past Memorial Day.
We are past Memorial Day, and we have not heard from username already taken 69420.
Or what was the 6-string trucker?
6-string trucker or Red Rocket Hot Pocket or whatever it was.
Yeah. So all 3 of you people out there have now officially squandered your entry for the winch and for the swag packs. So that means our winner for the winch is Joe Z 60421.
Yeah.
Yep. So
congratulations, Joe.
Congratulations, buddy. We'll be reaching out to you. We'll get your shipping info and you're going to have a very heavy package showing up at your doorstep here, hopefully shortly.
Yes. That, or we might have another opportunity to send it to you, but we'll talk about that off air.
Cool.
I think you've already been discussed that as well. So we'll see if it's possible.
Okay.
But we'll reach out, find your address, get your address, and then see what we might be able to work out.
Sweet.
Because it is heavy.
It's very heavy. Cool, man.
All right. I think that's all giveaway information. I think that's enough Flex Power Tool talk for this Thursday episode. But please, pay attention. Flex Power Tool Month's exciting. We're going to give away a ton of fun stuff, and you guys need to be paying attention to the podcast to keep up with that.
Yep. Pay attention. Along with the reviews, we've been talking a lot about it, but Yokohama stepped up and is donating a full set of tires, pretty much of your choice. We've talked a little bit about what those restrictions are, and we'll remind the winner once we get there. But once we get to 750 reviews on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, as the woke people call it nowadays, once we get 750, we're going to do another drawing for a full set of Yokohama tires, which is pretty badass. Make sure that you guys are going over and finding ways to leave reviews. Like we said before, if you can find a way to leave multiple reviews and just remember the accounts and the login information for the accounts and be able to prove that you own that account when it comes time to being shown who the winner is or choosing the winner, then you win. So everybody who has entered a review so far that we did for the winch, you are automatically going to get entered again for the tire giveaway.
Correct. Yep.
So your chances of winning up to, $2,000 in tires potentially is about 1 in 750 if you just do one entry. So not terrible. There's definitely things that are worse odds.
Absolutely.
So thank you to Yokohama for supporting that and doing that. So go check out the tires. We love them. Let us know if you have any questions on them. So we'll give you our feedback.
Totally.
Let's see. What else do we got for housekeeping? We're at the end of the month, so not a ton.
No, not a ton. We'll have more next week, probably, with FNGs and birthdays and all that pizzazz.
Yep.
Okay.
We don't have any voicemails.
Okay.
Nobody loves us.
We'll save reviews since we got a few things to talk about. So we'll save those maybe to next week.
Cool. We can do that. Man, I guess that just leaves it into how our Memorial Day weekends were, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. What'd you get to do?
I went up to my buddy Joe's cabin.
Josie?
No. Joe S.
Joe S. Got it.
And so Joe S. got married 6-8 months ago, somewhere around there, but they they eloped for the most part.
Okay.
They went to the courthouse and just signed the paperwork.
Gotcha.
And invited like a brother and a sister to be the witnesses.
Okay.
So they didn't have a wedding, but they wanted to have a party/reception. And so that's going to happen this upcoming weekend. But I went up to the cabin this last weekend, a Memorial Day weekend. And
did you guys finish that deck?
Finished the deck.
Good job.
Yeah.
Is it a nice deck?
It's a huge deck.
It's a huge deck, eh?
Yeah. Very much.
It's good to know.
Yeah. There's going to be lots of people on his deck.
That's impressive.
Like 60.
Wow.
And 15 kids.
Man.
That's included in the 60.
Joe, no. Okay.
Not in addition. Yeah.
Nice. Joe does have a big dick.
Yeah.
Man, that's impressive. Nice. All right. Cool.
It's not stained yet too, so it's all raw.
Oh, it's a raw dick?
Yeah.
Those are the worst.
I know. They're sanding it.
Oh,
and prepping it.
I mean, prepping's nice. I don't know about sand. Oh, sanding, that's a lot of work.
It sounds rough.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to sidetrack us that much. Anyways, okay.
Yeah,
so how's Joe doing?
Joe's good. We were up there. Pretty much his house or the cabin it's buttoned up. It's ready for the most part. There was just a few things. Like I went up there and I hung a lot of string lights. That was like my main job. We went and bought some railroad ties and put some of those in the ground, kind of creating a border in an area.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like sticking them straight up. I was like, you're building a fence.
No, but we did buy an extra one because I was just told to go buy 3 railroad ties. And so I went out and got 3 railroad ties. Then we got back and they're like, oh, we should have measured. We only needed 2. So he has an extra one, but he was thinking about putting it vertically in the ground and turning it into like a street address sign.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting. But he for the longest time, all we did was drive in on on a dirt pad area. And so he put some like rock down, prepping for like asphalt, though that's not going to happen in time. It probably won't happen for a few years, but he put railroad ties around where now there's a parking situation for the cabin, which there never was before. We just kind of parked anywhere on the yard. It's just all dirt. It's not groomed or anything. So yeah, we would just, park in a random spot on his property. But they made it really nice. He bought a little tough shed and they tore down their like rickety ass little lean-to thing that stored the wood. And so now all the tools and stuff, like things for the cabin, that the yard working tools and snow tools and kayaks and snow toys and the wood is all in this tough shed. It looks a lot better. And yeah, so it was the exterior is mainly done. We just were doing a lot of like the small little things to get the grounds ready. We're picking up a lot of pine needles and cleaning up the yard. And
does any trees felled?
Not at the moment. No, but he had a bunch dropped like a few months ago getting ready for the driveway. So sorry.
All right, whatever.
Yeah, I know. So that was what I went up there. So on Saturday, I spent time with the mini assistant, the assistant. And then on Sunday, I went up to the cabin. I left at like 5 a.m. Drove up there, did work all day, and then did work until about noon on Monday, and then drove home.
Okay.
And the assistant went to the Lizzo concert on Sunday night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course she did.
I know. And the mini assistant went to a friend's house to spend the night.
Okay.
And then when I got home, I had to do some yard work, and then, we did basic Sunday chores that now fell on Monday. And that was the extent of my weekend. Yeah. So I didn't do a whole lot, kind of crazy things, but I went up and helped a friend get ready for the party. Other things though that I did for besides snail armor things was I finally got around and fixed Bobcat.
Oh, cool.
Yep. So I
put the harmonic balancer
yep,
assembly.
I put the new harmonic balancer on that I got from LC Engineering. Before, when we were talking about it a little while ago, I was concerned because it only had like 2 pulleys on it.
Mm-hmm.
So what I found out after pulling the old harmonic balancer is the 3rd pulley is bolted on to the other 2 pulleys.
Oh, so you just unbolt it and pull it off?
So I unbolted it, put Loctite on it, bolted it on the new one.
Nice.
And now that has the 3 pulleys on it again.
Sweet.
So it's the same thing, just new now. So, and that didn't take very long. I did drain the water in the coolant system because when I was getting ready for, when I was doing the power steering box, I had to remove the radiator. And then when I put everything back together, I didn't have coolant.
Oh, yeah.
And so I threw water in it to take it to Moab, which was my downfall last time, but it didn't seem to be a problem this time.
Mm-hmm.
So while I was working on the harmonic balancer, I drained the radiator.
Gotcha.
And haven't put coolant back in it yet. So I was going to try and drive Bobcat down here, but I didn't get it.
Mm.
It's not up and running now, but it adds some coolant and some water back into the system and it'll be okay. So yeah, and besides that work on Bobcat, that was about the last thing I did. I did a little bit more work on the house. I ripped out the guest room's bathroom's floor.
Okay.
There was some water damage on the top level, like I don't know what you call that. There's like the plywood base, and then there's because there was a linoleum on there. They had to raise the floor to kind of match what like kind of carpet or a hardwood level, because there's that. Plywood is in the entire house, and then you put flooring on top of that. The linoleum's so thin, they put like another piece of wood on there some like MDF stuff on there, and then that raises the linoleum up. So I pulled that off, and there was some water damage where the bathtub kind of area is.
Okay.
And I was like, oh no. So then I ripped all that wood up because we're probably going to go to tile or some vinyl planks or something, and you don't need that level of floor. It goes right onto the plywood that's on the underside, the subfloor. And there's water damage to the plywood also, but I think it's just stained. Like the wood is dry, it's hard, like it's not
there's no dry rot to it.
There's no dry rot to it or anything. So I'm not gonna worry about it. I don't. Maybe I'll do a small amount of research to see if there's something I should put on it. Like maybe I should paint that section to try to avoid any more water possibly getting down into it. But the wood seems hard and fine.
Yeah.
So I'm not really gonna worry about it too much. I'm just gonna move on and
make sure you seal up the tile between the tile and the
tub.
The tub when you get to that point.
Yeah. And I don't know when that damage happened. It could have at some point they did completely overhaul that bathroom, and it was in probably like the 90s. So I don't know. I don't remember if that damage was there before they overhauled it or not. So I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Or if it was just a slow thing that happened throughout 40 years of them living there.
Yeah. One thing to think about too, because when I was doing my home inspection for my current house, there was concerns of it's a tile roof, right?
Okay.
And so a couple of the tiles were pretty badly broken, and a couple of the ceiling points in the valleys of the tiles, where the 2 roof lines came together, were like not good
or shattered
or shattering kind of thing. And so I crawled up into the attic to look around, and I found a couple spots that showed water damage on the beams, but it didn't look fresh. It didn't look current. It looked completely dried up, and nothing looked like it was an issue. And we had just had rain that week. So I was like, all right. So I asked a buddy of mine who owns a contractor business, building business. And he goes, one thing to remember is that could have gotten wet when they were either transporting the wood to the house to build it or during building as well.
Yeah.
So that's something else to think about. And so if it doesn't look fresh and it is all nice and hard and it's not crumbling or porous,
right,
you're probably good.
Yeah, it's probably good. Yeah. This one definitely got wet from the bathtub.
Okay.
Like it wasn't a transporting issue or
gotcha.
When they're building it, like it's obvious like there's been water runoff on that from that bathtub at some point in time. And enough that went through the subfloor and down to, or enough that went through that MDF floor and down into the subfloor.
Gotcha.
I just don't know how long ago or when it happened, but the subfloor looks good.
Okay.
And if I wanted to like replace that, I'd have to remove the bathtub.
Yeah.
Because I looked, it's like a jacuzzi tub that's in that room. And it has these panels on the front that you can pull off. And you can like look at
the tub and all the hoses.
Well, you can look inside the tub and at the hoses and everything. But I looked at the floor, and it's a piece of plywood that goes almost the entire way back.
Okay.
So to fix that, if I wanted to replace the actual whole entire plywood, I'd have to remove the tub, which means I have to remove like the side of it has like a Corian walls on the inside, and it would just be a big pain in the butt.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'll figure out if I need some chemicals that I can put on there to make sure it's dry or make sure it works well, or just paint it, or just linoleum over it and then silicone the edge so that nothing goes, or not linoleum, tile or vinyl plank over it and silicone the corners so there's not that problem in the future. It doesn't
continue. Yeah. That's probably where I would lean towards, but I'm not a general contractor. So.
No, I don't. And I did get an email from the contractor that's in Loomis. I did a shout out to asking for his contact information again, and he did get in contact with me. So thank you very much.
Sweet.
And I have spoken to D Miller a few times, so I do appreciate Derek Miller for his advice whenever I reach out.
Cool.
So, yep.
Sounds
good. That's it. I know that you had quite a bit going on this week and weekend for some stuff getting Kermit ready. So let's hear about that. I think I'm done with all my updates.
Yeah. So I've got Kermit going in. We have a date going up Thursday this week.
Whoa.
So when the day this episode releases,
we're going to say goodbye to Kermit.
Yep. He's going up to Ori's.
Okay.
So the whole build plan, we've talked about it in pieces here and there, but the whole build plan for Kermit is the 4-wheel underground from Brian, the 3-link kit in the front on 14-inch Radflow coilovers that are tuned by Brian already. I have a set of Fox coilovers that are essentially the same thing as the Radflows, but they're not pre-tuned for me.
Correct. Yeah.
So I was debating on putting those in first the way they sit and have the suspension built around the Radflows, but put in the Foxes and see how they ride, having untuned coilovers versus throwing in the Radflows then and seeing how they ride afterwards.
Right.
We'll see if I end up doing that or not. And then, but that's the goal for the front is the 3-link with 14-inch coilovers. It's the 3-link and then Panhard on it. The rear suspension is going to be a rear 3-link, so I don't have to relocate the gas tank with the Panhard. We'll probably have sway bars front and rear. And then the rear is going to be 12-inch coilovers.
Okay.
That are going to be under the cargo area. They're not cutting up into the cargo area to get the 12-inch coilovers on.
Yeah, that's pretty cool that he designed a kit that will allow that to happen.
Yep.
That works with 12-inch coilovers and you don't have to modify the tub.
Yep. Yeah. So the brackets on the axle side for the coilovers hang down below the axle a little bit, which I'm not super happy with, but they're set up and designed for 14-inch.
Okay.
So he said with the 12-inch coilovers, we can cut some of those brackets off and pull them up so that they're not hanging down as much.
Got it. Okay.
So we'll have that in the rear going on.
Okay. Yeah.
So that'll be really cool.
So that's the suspension.
That's a suspension. Yep. Let's see. The axles. I have the rear axle all set and done. It is the Tundra 10.5-inch dropout third member, 529 E-lockers and E-locker and 529 gears and the Eaton E-locker. That's going into a diamond housing with a 3.5-inch by 3/8 wall tubes, 10.5-inch center section. It's big. It's a big housing. And then on the ends of that, we're doing full float axle shafts with 36 spline, 1.49 inch axle shafts on the inner.
Wait, what is that?
1.49 inch
diameter axle shaft.
Yep.
Wow.
Diameter on the inner. And then on the outer, it's 1.5 inch, 35 spline to hook into Super Duty drive slugs.
Okay.
And then on the outers, to get it to be full float, we're running the 05 and up Super Duty unit bearings.
Yes.
And there's weld cups from Busted Knuckle Offroad there for the weld cups. And then we got their lightweight brake kit for the rear as well, which is Wilwood Dynalite 4-piston calipers. And so those are going to go on the rear on F250 rotors. And we're going to use the East Coast Gear Supply Drive Slug kit, which is essentially a drive slug, which comes from Brannick, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the slugs are from Brannick, and then the hub caps are East Coast Gear Supply.
Got it.
So we've got,
do they have a design on it?
Yeah, it has East Coast Gear Supply's logo on it, which I'm not thrilled about. I want to put more flight logos on them. So I think after everything gets built, I'm just going to get everything built, get it all up and running, and then I'll work about swapping those caps out later down the road, have some made.
What are they made? Are they engraved into the cap? Yeah,
so they are, I believe, 60-61 aluminum or 50-52 aluminum, one or the other, machined. And then I believe that they're anodized. And then they're laser engraved with the East Coast Gear Supply logo in the anodization, right? So what I would need to do is have somebody make blank caps, which apparently nobody does, and then anodize them myself and laser them myself with the MF logos.
I wonder if you can somehow etch away the anodizing that's currently there and then have them re-anodized. Oh,
that's an interesting idea. I hadn't thought about that.
And then etch in your logo.
Yeah, that's a good... I may look into that.
I wonder if sandblasting might do it.
Maybe. I'll have to look into that. Reed, I'm going to call you.
Yeah.
So that's a good idea. So anyways...
Reed's like a few weeks behind. So
yeah.
But hopefully he's skips ahead because this is Power Tool Month. I also might see him this week, so I'll let him know.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I just need to call him or text him or something.
Yeah, I just miss him.
He's a good guy. He was fun hanging out with that SEMA.
I bet. He's hilarious.
Yeah. So anyways, so that's the rear axle. Oh, and I'm doing the Wilwood electric parking brakes.
Yeah.
On there. So that'll be fun. And then the 8-on-170 lug pattern, which is the stock Super Duty 05 and up Super Duty lug pattern, 8 lug. And that'll be, that's the rear axle.
Sweet. Okay. So that's the front suspension, rear axle. Well, so front axle left?
Front axle is what was left. And I was waiting on a few parts and they all have come in. So I finished putting everything together and making sure everything fit up properly. And then I took it all apart.
Okay.
So I had a talk with Ori.
Yes.
And I was like, hey, look, I had this talk with him before I was like, I think it might be easier if you put together the front axle. I want to put it together, but I think for packaging the suspension in the front, it'll be easier if you can build the axle according to what works for the packaging.
Yes.
And he goes, yeah, to an extent, but that's just going to be more time. You have to pay us for it. If you just make it somewhat where your current center section is and the WMS you're looking for, then we'll make it fit.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
So that's why. So I came back to him and I was like, hey, do you want me to deliver you an assembled axle? Everything put together, third member in and sealed, knuckles on. So that when you're moving it around, it's going to be awkward. It's going to want to spin on you. The knuckles are going to be flopping all over, but it'll be less time you have to put into everything.
Yeah.
And he goes, it's up to you. We'll deal with it. We'll handle it. If we have to assemble it, we have no problem assembling it as long as you have everything fabricated. He said, well, we can put together bolts and stuff and know how to use RTV properly. So I was like, okay. So he goes, it's just going to be more time.
Yeah.
That we're going to charge you to do it. And I was like, if it'll make your guys' lives easier, giving you a disassembled axle so you can assemble the suspension properly and easier, and it saves you time assembling the suspension, I'll pay you for assembling the axle. He goes, yeah, I probably would. I said, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I disassembled everything and it's all sitting ready to go up to Ori's. But the front axle is the same housing. So the diamond 10.5-inch center section with the 3.5-inch by 3/8 wall tubes.
Same third members.
Exact same third member, that drop out 10.5-inch Tundra with 529 gears and 8 knee lockers. Let's see. Going out from there, we have custom shafts from Brannick. And so they made me 36 spline inners, 2 1550 forged outers for the 1550 yokes.
Okay.
Or 1550 U-joint, sorry. So I did that. let's see. I have axle seals in both axles, front and rear. On the outers, I decided I went with the outers rather than inners so that I can have more gear oil in there.
Okay.
Because I'm still going to be driving on the street for 2 to 3, 4 hours at a time in some cases at 70 to 80 miles an hour. So I want to have more gear oil in there for the cooling ability of the axles just in case. I'd rather not limit myself on the gear oil.
Okay. Yeah.
So I put the seals on the outers. So seals. Let's see. The knuckles are Reed Super Kingpins, which I'm really excited about.
Those look so good.
They look great. When I was first looking into knuckles, I was like, the Reed Super Kingpins are nice, but they're so expensive.
Yeah.
And then I started looking, I was looking at the, what is that company? I forgot the name of the company already now. They do the other knuckles that have 05 and up Super Duties with Kingpins.
I don't remember.
Crane Axle. Okay. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And they're Magnum knuckle kits. I was looking at those and they have an adapter on there that you have to bolt to the knuckle and then bolt your unit bearing to the adapter. And apparently they have that adapter because Reed has the patent on attaching an 05 and up unit bearing directly to a Kingpin knuckle.
Oh, really?
Yep. So Crane can't do it because of the patent. So they found a way around it and have this adapter piece on, which it works, but it just adds another layer of complexity into everything. Mm-hmm. So I did really, really like Crane's arms that come on their knuckles, though. They are huge, beefy, and keyed.
Okay, yeah.
With a big ass key and their Kingpin, and it was a thing of beauty, those arms were. But Hussman found a different arm that I really like. It's not keyed, but it is from Ballistic Fabrication, and it allows for like double shear of multiple components.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
So it's a crossover arm that's double shear, or you can run it as a full hydro with a double shear, or you can run it a regular with no hydro assist, regular crossover. So it's really cool because I wasn't able to find very many, if at all, double shear crossover arms. Everything I found out there that's double shear is for hydraulic setups.
Okay, yeah.
Full hydro. Ballistic Fab has a double shear crossover arm for the Reed Super Kingpins,
right? With
the six lug on, or 6 studs on the Super Kingpins,
right? And you want to have a mechanical connection,
yes,
for steering
for now.
Mm-hmm. Because you will be driving this on the road, and if there's ever an issue with hydraulic loss, then if you're full hydro, you won't be able to steer. But if with a continued mechanical connection, it would be hard. It's a pain in the butt, but you can still steer.
Yes,
I've done it. Mm-hmm. I've lost my power steering belt on the highway before.
Oh yeah.
And then I was just driving mechanical steering, and you had to push through the hydro assist line. Yep. Yeah, and the ram. But I drove it home.
Yep.
I made it.
Yep. And so the other cool thing about these arms is if I ever do go to full hydro in the future, I can use these same arms.
Oh, that's
no
perfect.
problem. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The other cool thing about the arm is that beyond where your drag link and tie rod hook into the arm, there's a third hole out on the end.
Okay.
And that goes and drops a post down into the
lower side. The lower arm. I don't know what you call that.
I don't know what it would be called either, but it comes off of the knuckle. It's built into the knuckle.
Right.
Of that Reed Super Kingpin knuckle. And so what's really cool about that is as you put, all the force on the steer arm, it has to rely on your studs, right? Whatever studs you have in the knuckle for staying on. And this setup has 6 studs there. So I don't think it's going to be a problem, but if you more power and leverage you put out there, as we know, it's a common issue with Toyotas, the 4 stud knuckles.
Yep.
They get loose and you snap them off.
Correct. Yeah.
With this setup, having that post going down and tying into that lower steer extremity on the knuckle, you now help direct some of the force of that leverage down to the knuckle as well, not just on your 6 studs on top of the knuckle.
Right. So it makes it immensely stronger.
Yes. Yeah. Way stronger. And so that was kind of another really cool thing about these steer arms, that not are they double shear for crossover, but they're almost like an extra sheer strength leverage, anti-leverage thing for the studs, the knuckle studs.
Right.
So super cool. I'm happy with those arms. That was a cool find. I'm running the same unit bearings in the front that I'm running in the rear. So the 05 and up, 8 on 170 unit bearings. In the front, I've got the regular 35 spline 1550 05 and up stub shafts that are going to be in there. And then mile marker hubs, the selectable mile marker hubs.
Cool. Yeah. Your favorite.
Yeah. that company has done really good customer service, and I've never really had issues with their product other than what I induced to it. So I'm staying with them.
Yeah. So we've mentioned many times that we support companies that have good customer service.
Yep. So everything is together there. Everything fits great. The Willwood Dynalite calipers, 4 pistons in the front go on there just fine. Everything lines up, and F250 rotors, same rotors as the rear, I'll have in the front as well. Yeah, it's all together finally.
All right.
Yep.
Well, I know you had a few things also that you needed to do to Kermit to get it ready by like moving the batteries, and I believe there's something else.
Yep. Front and rear bumper.
Front and rear, just taking them off?
Yep. Just take them off.
Okay.
So I didn't have time to do those.
Okay. Yet.
So my goal is I want to take the 4Runner, put it up on the trailer.
Yeah.
And then take all those off.
So you're just going to disconnect everything? And take away the battery?
Yep. I'll just pull the batteries out of the back and then label all the wiring, and then pull the batteries out of the back, and then we'll roll it off the trailer when we get to Ori's.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I was thinking. Okay. Fun.
Yeah. So that's a Thursday is when
you
it's all going
have a
up
tall
there.
trailer.
I do have a tall trailer.
It's going to be a hell of a roll.
Yep. We may put it in gear and roll it down. So
you need a winch.
Yeah. Put it in gear and winch it backwards. That may not be a bad idea.
And then take the bumper off.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe I'll leave the rear bumper on for them. But I meant your front winch, but then you need the batteries. Damn it. Yeah. Like I was going to just, drive the 4Runner onto the trailer.
Right.
And then pull all the batteries out and everything.
But I was thinking your front winch could help you control the descent, but then you would need your batteries in to control your winch. But if your batteries are in, then you might as well drive it off the damn trailer. Exactly. So that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure we could take one of their rigs and set up a snatch block on the rail of the trailer and just let it roll down that way from a rig on the side.
Be controlled at least.
Yeah. So there's multiple ways to do it. So, and they're pretty handy guys, Ori and his buddy he's working with now. So, so that'll be a whole new rig. I'm going to be 14 inches wider, 13 and a half in the front, roughly 13 and a half right around there.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So it's going to be awesome.
Wow. 7 inches on each side wider.
Yep. I'm not planning really on dropping the height of the vehicle that much, maybe upwards of 2 inches, 1 inch. Because I want to keep my ground clearance for what we have here in the Sierras.
Right.
But being 14 inches wider is going to make a massive, massive difference for stability.
Yeah.
I am going to try and stretch it. I think we're going to stretch out the front axle about 3 inches, maybe 4 forwards. So that'll give me a better approach angle and a little bit more wheelbase.
Yeah.
For even more stability.
Talk to Brian about that, because I know he has a limit on how far he suggests that you push stuff forward.
Yep.
And it's right in that ballpark, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah. So I'm going to get, when I drop it off, I'm going to call Brian, introduce him to Ori, and let them chat. And then they'll have each other's numbers, and they'll be able to talk back and forth throughout the process of what I want done and how it should all be set up.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really fun. It's going to be a whole new rig.
Yeah, it really
when I get
will.
it back, I'm going to have to learn how to drive all over again.
It'll be different.
Yeah,
that's for sure. So you're going to keep the dual cases. You're going to keep the 3.4 liter in there. Your R150 transmission.
Yep.
Why are you laughing at me?
Because we have to make new engine mounts because we're cutting off the frame from firewall forward and redoing the frame as well from the firewall forward.
Okay.
So
why are you doing that?
Because my frame's all cracked up there from the leaf springs.
That's right. Yeah.
So,
from the glue tread. Was that glue tread? No,
that was
Rubathon. Yeah.
Rubathon, blasting out a Rubathon with no alternator. Yeah. So my frame is cracked up there, and the frame on the front of those rigs is really not that great anyways to begin with.
They're not made for a front leaf spring hanger.
Yeah.
Is really what it comes down to. You have to gusset that a bunch in different ways.
And my frame was never gusseted.
Yeah. When I got Bobcat's cracked too, but I caught it and we fixed it and gusseted it at some point.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep. So we're going to be putting in a whole new frame with a 2x3 inch square tubing. I think quarter wall 2x3. So that's going to be stout.
Why so thick?
So that it's stout.
Yeah. But you're not, I mean, I guess the winch is going to be up there that has some force on it, but all the other stresses are going to not, you don't have them there from the leaf springs.
Yeah. I won't have to plate and reinforce anything though.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't know. It seems massive.
Yeah. So I think we're going to
have that's what Ori says. That's fine.
Yeah. We'll see. It's either going to be quarter wall or 3/16. I won't let him go lower than 3/16.
Yeah.
But we're going to come straight out of the frame at the firewall.
Okay.
I don't know, 1 foot, 1.5 feet, and then put a 2x3 inch section on top of that and go out another foot and then put another one below it. So that it'll have room to articulate the axle.
Yeah.
From where the original frame was.
Cool.
So
yeah,
we'll gain
as long as you don't hit your oil pan.
Yeah,
you'll be all right.
Yeah, 3 to 4 inches should gain 3 to 4 inches of up travel articulation.
Nice. Cool.
So yeah, so that's the plan there. I'm going to get it back. I'm going to sell probably the front bumper, sell the axles, the wheels, the race lines are going to come over and go to the Bronco.
Yep.
The rear bumper, I think I'm going to keep and modify for how I want to finally build a rear bumper, but I'm going to have to completely fabricate a new bumper for the front, which I have some ideas about how I want to do it. I'll get to use that affordable bender now.
Okay. Yeah.
To do it. So I get to fabricate a new bumper in the front, modify the rear to have a swing out to house my fluids and my chainsaw.
Okay. I was like, you're going to put a tire on there?
No. Yeah. Negative. But it's going to have to be a cage, lockable cage, so that people can't get in it while have it parked. So,
right.
So that'll be a fun project. And I've also got to figure out how to redo all the electrical again.
Yeah. Cause are you going to go to a dual battery again? Or are you going to do that one bigger lithium battery? Have you figured that out yet?
I haven't decided yet.
And regardless, you can't have the batteries where they were because now you have a coilover is kind of up in that area and the cross member.
Yep.
So are you going to go dual batteries in the engine bay? Where would you house dual batteries?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really have enough room in the engine bay. I've got to pull out the twin ARB, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I pull out the twin ARB. That's still only room really for one battery. So I'm leaning more towards the 60 amp hour lithium starting battery. And then in the extra space, kind of setting up a couple of electrical panels.
Right.
To hook everything into, then just have one, fat wire going from there to the electrical panels. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a question and something I haven't got down to yet.
Yeah. Well, you're going to want to figure that out before the vehicle's done, because you're probably going to want to drive it back up onto a trailer instead of winching it.
We'll probably have to winch it up on the trailer.
Yeah.
That'd be my guess.
Do all the electrical back at your house?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do the electrical back at my place.
You need an attachment point in your garage so you can pull it up and in.
Up into the... I'll figure out how to do that. So,
few 2x4s back.
Either that or I'll push it up with the Bronco.
Yeah, right. Put your front bumper on the Bronco.
Yeah, right. Modify it for that.
I'm curious about, so you're going to move the race lines over to the Bronco, and you did just get some tires in from Yokohama for the Bronco.
I did.
What I'm curious about is your scrub radius on the Bronco.
It'll be interesting. Because
there's an offset, a pretty decent offset on those wheels, I know. So
it's a positive offset wheel is what they come with from the factory.
Right.
So having
not neutral, it's positive offset.
Positive offset.
And then how negative are these?
These are a 9.5-inch wheel with a 4.5-inch back spacing. So they're about even a 0 offset.
Is that how it works?
About roughly.
Okay. So if that's, I'm always offsets and back spacings always throw me for a loop. I have to always look at a diagram and learn which one's which.
No, it's a positive offset, I think. Barely. It's like a half-inch positive.
4.5. So it's a 9-inch wheel and a 4.5-inch back spacing.
9.5-inch wheel.
So it's 4. So 9.5 would be 4.5, 4.75 centered, right? Half of 9.5.
Half of 9.5 is 4.75.
Right. Mm-hmm. And you have 4 and a
4.5-inch back spacing. Right. So that means I have a 1/4-inch positive offset.
Yes.
So which offsets are in millimeters typically.
So convert that to millimeters.
Yes.
Okay. So the wheel is gonna be somewhat close.
I'll be a little wider. I think the tires are gonna stick out a little bit from the fender line.
That'll look good.
I think it'll look good. It's just a matter of, is it going to rub anywhere with no lift whatsoever?
Yeah. We'll find out, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. You're only going to be able to drive straight home from the tire place.
Yeah.
No turning.
No turning.
You need to find a tire spot that's straight in line from your house.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes.
Better carry like the Badlands jack with you so you can lift up
and turn
and pull it to turn yourself and then continue to go straight.
Yeah. That'd be funny. I did find out, I had a couple people write in about what they thought that square is, the square tubing in the fender well of the Broncos. Mm-hmm. Our Land Rover buddy said that he thinks it's a crumple zone for when you get into an accident. I'm like, that doesn't make sense to have a crumple zone in the fender well. Like, I feel
it's on the frame though.
It's sticking out of the frame.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know why it sticks out. If it's a crumple zone, I don't know why it'd stick out of the frame.
I don't know either, but
if I understand that it might be a crumple zone in the frame, but I don't know why they'd have something protruding away.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense for protrusion, but somebody who actually knows got in contact with me.
Oh, Mike Klein.
It was Mike Klein. I think. Okay. Yeah. I think it was Mike Klein. And he said that it's because of, the assembly railway cars that the chassis sits on as it's going down the assembly line.
Oh,
that's how they connect it to the assembly car that moves it down the chassis. So I'm like,
you don't
perfect,
need
I'm cutting it off.
Call ReRim and get a plate thing built for 3D printed for a plug. There you go for it.
Yep.
It says MF on it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I think that's where I'm going to go. I'm
and it needs to be
off.
Never green color.
Yeah. Metallic
green. Brown.
Brown color.
Yeah. Never green, right?
Yeah. Red.
Yeah.
Be red.
More flake red.
Yep. The PSI Pro logo is now officially red. So
is it?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Interesting.
Yep. It's going to make it stick out like Christmas.
Yeah, I know, a bit clashy.
Yeah. And that's kind of the point, right? Everything we do is green. So by having that PSI Pro pop on everything we do, it's going to, I think it'll do good.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's where everything sits. The Bronco does have the 37-inch XAT tires from Yokohama, the XAT Geolanders, which I'm really excited to get on the Bronco and see how that does.
In 13.5s.
13.5 wide,
so jealous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why do they make a 37 13.5 AT tire and not a 37 13.5 MT?
Don't ask questions to good problems, Jimmy.
I should just get the AT tires and put them on Bobcat.
I mean, it's a great tire.
It is a good tire.
You get tons of traction.
That would be an interesting test to see how, do you really need an MT tire to drive the Rubicon?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Not in the summertime, at least. Maybe during wintertime it would help. But the difference between your 1250 mud terrains, the Geolander MTs versus the 1350 XATs, the all-terrains.
Yeah, what's the void ratio? That's what I want to know.
Well, that's the thing, right? You have a better void ratio on the MTs, but you have a wider footprint and a bigger contact patch with the ATs.
Yeah.
So you'd get more flotation with the ATs, but you'd get more traction with the MTs.
Correct.
So
and what's the load rating on those? I wonder, because I think the empties I got are D.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know I didn't check the load rating on those. So, anyways, that would be fun to do a comparison.
It would definitely.
We'll have to go wheeling during winter time with the Bobcat and the Bronco and kind of see which one does a little better. I think Bobcat would do better because you're so much lighter.
There's a lighter factor to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So another fun thing that came out.
Oh, at the closet?
Kind of.
Oh, okay.
We had a phone call with a really fun company.
We did.
Called 74 Weld.
We did.
About portals.
We did.
And we're going to get Quinn, the owner of 74 Weld, on the show here to talk all about portals.
Yes.
I am fucking stoked for this episode whenever we do it.
I agree.
So it's going to be coming out. I think we're going to be doing it and releasing it sometime during Tool Month here. So another reason to pay attention to the show during this month. But I talked with Quinn about, he just launched and is launching the Tacoma portals.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the Bronco portals pretty much done. He's getting ready to launch those as well. And I was like, when are you doing the 05 and up Super Duty portals?
Yeah.
And he goes, we can do them anytime we want. We're just working on the Tacoma and the other stuff because there's more of those people that want portals than 05 and up Super Duties. And I was like, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
I was like, so hold on. So you can do them whenever. So if I said go, how quickly could you get me a set of portals? He goes, well, we do everything in-house, which is really impressive. From design to cutting, machining, everything. And we use the same gear sets in all of our portals. We just adapt the casings. So he goes, from you saying go, I could probably have you a set of portals in 2 to 3 weeks. I was like, fuck. So, and I don't know what I'm doing now.
I don't know what I'm doing either.
Right? We have life decisions to make here on the podcast.
I would love to get some portals for Charlotte.
Oh my, portals on Charlotte with your Northwest Fab crawl box.
Yep.
You would just sell. You'd sell Samantha the way she sits and sell Bobcat.
Yeah. I've been having a hard time with the decision of Bobcat. If I want to sell it, if I don't, it's like my first, it's the first baby for the most part. It's like the vehicle I've had. And a few years ago, if you would ask me, I would have like, I'm going to build Samantha. I'm going to sell Bobcat. Now I'm kind of like, it's a good truck. It's fun. It's not overly complicated. It's, fine. I don't know what I'm going to do with it.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking, I had the thought of doing a body swap on it.
Oh, okay.
And just to kind of clean it up and, or buy another truck and move all the components over it would be more of the way to do it. And then it got me to thinking about, would it still be Bobcat? Would it? I don't know. Like would it still be the same truck? Would it be it? Or is the soul gone at that point or is the soul still there? I don't know.
That's a good question.
Yeah. Maybe if I got another dark gray one.
Maybe. Yeah. You need to have somebody steal it. That way it's tainted.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. And then I'll sell it to Jacob and he'll fix it up and then I'll want it back.
Exactly. Man, first gen Forerunner. I miss you. Yeah, man. So that's all the updates. Oh, I got to climb into my neighbor's tree and play with chainsaws in a tree.
Oh, nice.
That was fun.
Should have got a reciprocating saw.
That little handheld reciprocating saw would have been perfect for what I was doing in my neighbor's tree.
Nice.
Would have been a hell of a lot safer too.
Which neighbor? Right or left when you're looking at your house?
Left.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
The
new neighbors.
The new neighbors. Yep. They had their tree. One of their branches is growing and right into the top fascia of my house.
Oh.
So I was like, hey dude, can we cut that? I don't think it's going to impact your shade at all. If anything, it's going to take away from my shade on my house. But he goes, yeah, no, let's go for it. And I was like, okay, cool. So yep.
Legally, you don't have to ask him as long as you cut it on your fence line or on the border of your house.
Yeah,
but if you wanted to go onto his property and climb his tree and get into there and cut it low, then you need to.
Yep.
It's his property at that point. Anything of a person's tree that crosses over into your property is your property.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Good to know. Which is a really bizarre, it's an interesting law.
Yeah.
Just the way that you kind of think about it. It's like their tree, but it's on my property, so it's mine.
Yeah.
But Yeah. So like the assistant has a mulberry tree that isn't on their property, but like almost half of the tree is growing over the backyard of the assistant's house. And it's pretty much covering a lime tree at this point. So the lime tree is going to probably die eventually.
Yeah.
And I've been tempted to go get one of those like little chainsaws on a pole and just like straight up from the fence, just cut off all the branches and just leave this tree like halfway.
Yeah.
Like it's a bowl cut in a way, you know, because legally I can, and they could come over and argue with me all they want. And I'll be like, sorry, call the cops on me. I don't care. This is my legal right to cut. Yeah. You're on my property line. Yeah. If I cut on their property line, then I did bad. So yeah, it's kind of funny. Yep. But like if your branch, a tree from a branch from your tree falls on your neighbor's property, it's their business.
Yeah. Good. So, he was all cool with it. So I got to climb up in the tree and cut it off at the tree and make it all clean. So
good. Nice.
Yeah, it worked out really well. I did not use the new chainsaw though for it.
No, it's too large.
It was, climbing up there with a 24-inch bar would have been. Yeah. So I used the 18-inch bar chainsaw. And even that, I was like, kind of wish I had a smaller saw to do this with. So I'm going to sell a smaller saw now.
Are you?
Which is going to be battery powered apparently.
Oh, you're going to get a smaller saw.
Just kidding. No.
Yeah. A baby reciprocator.
Yeah. Little baby reciprocating saw. I'll use that. That was my weekend, man. That's all I did.
Cool.
Yep.
That still sounded pretty busy.
Yeah. Stayed busy. So
that's awesome. Yeah.
I also almost completely redid our drip line in the backyard. So
speaking of that,
I had to do all that too this weekend. So it was a lot of yard work this weekend.
I woke up this morning to water on the inside of Charlotte in the cab.
Oh, okay.
Because I left my sunroof ajar. And one of our sprinklers in our front yard is apparently leaking so bad that it's shooting up and onto the top of my truck that's parked like next to the sidewalk. And it shot into the cab.
That's funny.
Or it dripped into the cab.
Yeah.
A little bit. Actually, it pretty much covered the center console. It was that's how I noticed it. Didn't get a whole lot of other places. The seat was a little damp, but it wasn't that bad. After today, it'll be dried out, but I need to do some drip
sprinkler
line maintenance, I think.
Yeah.
Or shut my window.
Yeah.
But I don't think it wasn't bad a week or so ago because I did some sprinkler line maintenance.
Yeah.
And then the assistant said she did some yard cleaning in the front yard this weekend. And now
you have an awkward sprinkler.
And now I have a wet cab of a truck. Good thing I didn't leave my windows ajar.
Yeah.
So I'm going to, when I go home, I'm going to figure out what's going on because I don't want to park there.
Yeah. Nice.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, cool. Fun weekend, Memorial Day weekend. Hopefully everybody enjoyed theirs. It was apparently this weekend was National Hamburger Day. I want to say either Sunday or Saturday. I forget which one it was.
No, I had a ribeye.
Yep. We had a tri-tip. But I missed out on National Hamburger Day, which was a bummer. I didn't realize.
Oh, well.
But yeah, fun weekend, Memorial Day weekend. It's a good time.
Yeah, definitely. If you have any questions or comments for us, you can always reach us over on Instagram. I'm at Snail Trail 4x4. Tyler watches over 4x4 Toyota Tyler. You can email us, Jimmy or Tyler at snailtrail4x4.com. You can phone in at area code 916-345-4744. You can tag us on Instagram, I was going to say irate 4x4, which was another avenue. You have the Facebook group. If you're a patron or a Snail Squad member, you can get into that. Any other ways that they can get a hold of us? I'm sure there's other ways and you can figure it out.
Yeah, there's lots of different ways. So get a hold of us. Pay attention to Tool Month, the Flex Power Tool Month here this month. The first giveaway is starting today, and all that info is over at Snail Trail 4x4 on Instagram. So
no, it's not.
Or sorry, no, it's not. It's here in this
right
episode. Here in this episode.
Only.
So you guys have to post over on Instagram.
Yes.
And so,
This one is just for the listeners.
Yep.
Just for you guys. Nobody else. So you guys are the only people that are going to get entered. The next one is on Instagram. So this one's really just for you guys.
Yep. Cool, man. Anything else? I think that does it.
I think that's it.
Sweet. Any final words for everybody out there?
Power Tool Month, dude. I am so excited for this. This is awesome.
It's going to be fun.
It is going to be a blast. We're giving away so much stuff. It's rad.
And with that, my friends, keep crawling.
I got one for you.
Joke time.
How many tickles does it take to get an octopus to laugh?
Tentacles.
10 tickles. You knew that one.
I did.
You were on it. Wow. Okay.
It's the one of the 2 jokes I know.
Tentacles.